I have just finished my daily routine. I feel fresh. I was procrastinating this recently, but the last part in reserve is going to go up now, so necessity will finally force something through what's walling me. It's not that big of a deal, though. So, I killed Queen Bee one more time off camera, as I said I would, so now I can make the bee armor. So, headgear, breastplate, greaves, and also the hornet staff, which is definitely better because these are ranged summons, and I'm pretty sure, well, the snapthorn poisons, but I think they do as well. So I'll ditch the mushroom staff now, and I'll equip all of this. That's a very funny set of gear. So that's 2 more minion slots. How much is that? Like 13 more summon damage, and then another 10. So 23% more. Which affects the whip, of course. And here are the hornets. So, that's nice. And I guess I'll put the rest in here. Now, about my notes. What have I left here? Meteorite, right. I guess I'll start with that. So, although I'm going to use up some of the obsidian that I want for the even better armor set that requires me to go into the underworld, I think when going down there I'll get more obsidian anyway, so it's fine, and I'll replace the bezoar for the time being. So after I killed the Brain of Cthulhu, it said at one point that a meteorite fell, and I went around the surface and found it. Now I'm gonna do that. Also, I missed this. I don't know if it's good anymore, but this is another Don't Starve reference. Abigail's flower summons Abigail's ghost. And I believe the more you use it, you upgrade her. You see the flower on her got bigger. I think that increases her damage, and she has, I think, sort of an area of effect attack. It's a neat summon. The flower will grow near where gravestones are, so you have to actually die to get it, which is kind of odd. But I won't be using it. I think it's too weak at this stage. Now about the meteorite. It's here, close to the jungle. But before I go there, I figured out, well, I looked up how this works. You need to select the cola on your hotbar and then talk to the dryad. And now I get the purify option. And there's the achievement. Yep, that's a Stardew Valley reference. Huh. Played Stardew Valley like once, but is that a pet? Oh, it is. It's just another pet. Keeper of the Forest. Junimo. I've never seen this thing in Stardew Valley, but I assume that's what it is. Oh, and when I killed Queen Bee the second time, I managed to get her pet item, which is this little bee. I kind of like it. That's what I'll stick with. I won't be getting all achievements in this playthrough because I don't think it's even possible. Like I said, I had to make another world with the secret seeds to get some of them. And to be honest, Terraria's achievements are not worth calling achievements for the most part. Okay. Now for the meteorite. Yeah, the point of the obsidian skull is that meteorite is a block that would... Okay, be careful, man. That would burn me when I touch it. So this way I can mine it. Oh, here's an idea. Mining potion. And I could switch to my mining set, but I kind of want my hornets to kill the meteor heads because they'll just continuously spawn and harass me. Okay, the offensive side of the Shield of Cthulhu dash was actually useful there. Yeah, that's all. The meteor heads are protecting the meteorite. It used to be that smashing a crimson heart or a shadow orb, each one you destroy would add a meteorite falling into the queue of events. But at some point they changed it so that you have to beat the evil boss first. Which I guess I kind of understand, because some of the items you can make with meteorite are pretty powerful, but... I don't know. I think they made a lot of small changes like that just to make sure that people can't cheese certain things, and it's a little odd. It just stops you from cutting ahead in the progression. Oh yeah, there are even more paintings that can drop from specific enemies in this update. Thank you, Brain of Confusion. I will mine most of this, although I think I already have enough. There's a decent mage set that you can make with meteorite. A good melee weapon. A few other things. You can make bullets out of it. But I think they added some summoner items. Pretty sure I got meteorite in my mage playthrough. And I noticed like a whip. I disregarded it because that's not what I was doing. But now I'll actually give it a shot. And if I do remember correctly that these hornets poison enemies, then I can replace my current whip to avoid redundancy on that front. Okay, 300 is plenty. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's good. I'll hold on to the bezoar, although maybe I won't need it anymore. Oh, you know, I could make a bed. I forgot about that. With the loom, I could make silk, and then with the silk, I could make a bed. It's not super important. It does let you set your spawn point by right-clicking that half of it, and this half lets you sleep, which if you wait for your character to close his eyes, time starts flowing faster, which is useful. There's the meteorite. And what have we got? Yeah, the space gun is the magic weapon. The meteor armor is the magic set, and its set bonus is that the space gun costs 0 mana. Now let's see this thing. Star Crash. 2 tag damage. Your summons will focus strike enemies. Strike enemies with primed energy. Meteorites fall on primed enemies hit by summons. Okay. So low tag damage, but it has that unique effect. That sounds fun. Dangerous. Right. I do believe size was a fairly important modifier for whips. It just gives you more area of effect and range. What else have I written down here? Oh yeah, the Joja-Cola thing. The slime rain. Slime rain happened in a previous part, right? It's what you would expect. Slimes spawn in huge amounts. They fall from the sky. Rare slimes are pretty common during that event. If slime rain happened sooner, I actually could have gotten a summon weapon from it. And if you kill enough slimes before the event ends from like a timeout, then King Slime will spawn as a climax to the event. But King Slime showed up at the edge of the world, so yeah. Okay, I think I'll equip the Bezoar just because it's armored. Now next up, I flattened this area out, as I said I would. I started the Old One's army a couple of times just to test it out. I think it's as I want it to be. That's why I have 48 crystals and not 50. So I'll take one to start the event with. I'll take the 2 rods. Oh yeah, there's no real point in the Vampire Frog Staff, so I'll take that off. I personally think that Flame Burst and Lightning Aura are the best. Oh, finally a Pinky on camera. That's a rare slime. That's what I was talking about with the slime rain. They drop a decent chunk of gold and pink gel, which can be used for a few things. Like bouncy explosives, which are as ridiculous as they sound. And if I open this chest, you can see I have actually killed a few pinkies off camera. You can also make pink torches that you can use to make peace candles, which lower spawn rates while they're placed. And I should actually do that. Could be handy. Where are they? There. That should be more than enough. And there. 2 gold bars and a torch. You can also make regular candles, but they're just decorative. Even 10 is probably more than I need. I don't recall if pink torches have any kind of luck effect, so I'll leave those in there. Oh yeah, I do have another bloody tear, that's nice. Now, let's start this event. So, Dungeon Defenders 2 is a tower defense game. I've never played it, but it seems fun enough. There's a portal on each side. That's what the Lightning Aura Rod is. It's an area of effect and it ignores armor. To summon with these rods, I need Etherean mana, which is dropped by the enemies. And I'm protecting the crystal in the middle, which has 3,000 life in this case. Yeah, one problem with my setup is that the goblins jump when they get over here. Don't know why that is exactly. And after this wave, which you need to kill enough enemies to end the wave, I should have enough mana to place more stuff. These hornets are doing a good job. I just remembered another thing I could do for the sake of summoner play. So because they jump around in my herb garden, I guess I'll place the aura there. I'll place a flame burst rod at the crystal, which has a ranged attack that, well, with an area of effect and damage over time. I'm quite fond of that particular tower. Yeah, if you don't have enough tools, this can get a bit DPS checky. I'm a summoner, so I think I can fend them off fairly well. Oh, I saw a meteorite fall on the goblins for a second. That was cool. I think I want to place the Crimson Rod Cloud over one of the portals. Maybe that would make the most sense. Maybe like this. The cloud will expire after a certain amount of time passes, which can be a bit of a problem. You can't place these towers too close to each other, but I do have space in between these two auras to place a flame burst, so that's good. I see the meteorites falling. I can't tell exactly how much damage they deal, though. I guess one downside to this whip is that it swings slower than the other one. But I think it's decent. I'm sticking with it. Forgot how long range these summons are. That's pretty good. Okay. The total mana you get from each wave is in multiples of 10, which is kind of nice. Goblins, bombers, javelins, and wyverns. Wyverns are very annoying, because they fly over my auras, for example, and they're really fast. The crystal does very slowly regenerate life, I think, but it might as well not. So you really don't want to let anything leak through, and clearing enough waves gives you more defender medals, which is how you can buy even more stuff from the Tavern Keep. I'm pretty sure the Tavern Keep is the shopkeeper and dungeon defenders, and as part of this crossover they also added the Dryad as, I think, a playable character to dungeon defenders, which is kind of fun. Do appreciate that. And this is the last wave of the event for now. It includes the Dark Mage, which is a mini-boss. I sort of appreciate having a tower in the middle because it helps deal with these damn wyverns, and also, when I see the tower aiming up, I can tell that a wyvern is just barely off screen. Okay, this is bad. The Dark Mage is on the left. If I can kill him, we'll be fine, but if the wyverns destroy the crystal first, that would be terrible. And the mage can support other enemies by healing them. He can summon a bunch of skeletons. Uh-oh. Yeah, I failed. That's rough. If you fail, you just miss out on some stuff. Okay, how can I do that differently? I feel like I just need a way of dealing with the damn wyverns. Maybe I can shoot them with the gun instead of the whip. I can have my summons focus on what's below. A shame. I do believe that winning the event can give me something decent. especially since I'm a summoner. So I'll give it another shot, but maybe I'll go back to the drawing board for a second. Unfortunately, the enemy spawns are random, so if a ton of wyverns spawn and you're in a marginal situation, that can lose you the event. Maybe I could modify the... Let me try this. Go over to... Actually, the sun's about to set, and there's something I want from the... Oh, why am I blanking on the name of this NPC? The Witch Doctor, right. That's a really cool portrait. That's actually one of the best ones, I think. The Witch Doctor is a cool character design in general. Oh, there's an idea. I don't exactly remember the materials necessary, but I'll get an imbuing station because weapon imbuement flasks work on whips for some reason, and that's nice. But until the sun sets, I need to find the goblin. Because maybe if I just have a better undertaker. Superior. Maybe that's good enough. I can shoot those blasted wyverns out of the sky. I guess I have another painting. They're kind of huge. That's... I think that's fine. I made these houses big for a reason. Alright, this one's pretty tall. I guess I could use another... Okay. Not the most presentable thing in the world, but I think it works because I'm placing the decorative stations more in that direction. Oh, I do have the materials for the poison flask. Melee and whip attacks poison enemies. 20 minutes. That's pretty good. I'm trying to think if there's any other flask I could make at this point in the game. Not really. Yeah, it might make a slight difference. So sure. Okay, it's nighttime. So now I'll head to the Witch Doctor. You should be selling the Pygmy Necklace. Increase your max number of minions by 1. That's not bad. This used to be an accessory you could only get in the second half of the game, but I think they realized, wait, there are no summoner accessories in the first half. That doesn't make sense. So they moved it over. No, you see the lines connecting all the pylons in the network if you right-click the pylon itself. I guess that's the reason to do that. Just wondering if I want to modify the Pygmy Necklace. It's not a material, so I guess it's worth it. I'll have it on for a while. Guarding. Is that good enough? I don't really know. Warding. Okay. Definitely replacing the Bezoar with that, because none of the enemies in this event can poison me. Now I can throw out the 4th summon. I could also fish for a summoner buff, but I really don't want to. I think I would have to fish in the underground jungle, and that's a whole thing. Oh yeah, I already had a Bezoar in here. Oh well. Yeah, I'll give it another shot. If I could beat the Dark Mage, he would drop loot, and the event would end in victory. And I need to win at least once to be able to use the rods outside the event. Those are my incentives right now. I could have bought some more bullets from the arms dealer, but maybe it'll be fine. I find it funny that the flask that you're thematically supposed to be coating your weapon with has the same animation as drinking a potion, so that I just drink poison. That's what it looks like. I think with the extra summon, they do a better job at killing the wyverns. It should work out. Okay, how much mana is that? 8. There should be 2 over here again. I guess I'll place the flame burst in the center. I also like to spread out the flame burst so that they hit more enemies, and the damage over time has higher uptime and is applied to more enemies as well. I think that makes sense. But yeah, this is definitely not a great tower defense game. Like, imagine a tower defense where it's just a straight line, even if there are 2 paths. Plus, there isn't exactly much going on with the towers themselves. I will say that controlling a character who can attack the enemies directly is reminding me of certain tower defense games I've played, like, specifically Pixel Junk Monsters from the Pixel Junk series. That's a fairly basic tower defense game, but its fundamentals were good enough that I played it for quite a while. Plus it was on PSP, so I could just bring it with me and play on, like, the commute to work. Okay, enough mana. I do think the javelin throwers were messing me up. I could use buffs, that's another thing. And I will. And there's a Night Owl potion for your convenience. Definitely gonna need more AoE over there. Yeah, most of my defense is on the other side. That's not a great idea. Okay, 20. Flame burst over here. Lightning or over here, I think. I'm not sure. This worked well enough for me, but maybe my character was just way stronger at that point. You do progress more than the event gets harder as you make your character stronger. So you can just come back later. But personally, I never find that satisfying. Especially in a marginal situation. Oh, it's a lightning storm. Well, that's just great. This is going to be incredibly dangerous. Oh. Okay. It is kind of cool that can happen. I wonder if during a boss fight the lightning could hit the boss. Just like falling stars. Oh, that's painful. I think I'm just gonna pile on the flame burst towers in the middle to hopefully help with the wyverns. I do think the gun would be good if I had good aim. just need to focus him down. I think that's all there is to this. Maybe I can make it. The skeletons, come on. Damn it. That's so close. Well, you get the gist. I did manage to kill the actual... Oh, that's good. Excuse me, bit of an interruption. I did get some decent stuff from that. This is just a pet. It's a flying cat, actually. I kind of like it. Maybe I will use it. You saw the bee, so that's fine. I'm pretty sure that didn't count as... Oh, it did? Okay, fair enough. I thought that counted as a loss. But I can't actually place the towers outside the event. I technically killed the boss just barely in time. So this war table increases my max sentries. So now I can place 2 of these. I'm not really going to use the lightning aura rod. It's mostly good for the event itself. Not for general combat, I'm pretty sure. And the Squire Shield increases summon damage, which is great. I'm actually going to replace Magiluminescence with that. Don't really need it. So now I'm pretty decked out. And that's great. I might consider Magiluminescence again, so I'll put it in here. And oh, there's something I could do now, which is to fight Deerclops. Though I think this lightning storm is a bit of a problem. So I could kill some time first. Uh-oh. Yeah, like, could that have hit me, or is it just the point that's telegraphed? I'm not sure. Maybe it's the entire lightning graphic, which is kind of rough, but it is what it is, I guess. So I'll leave the defender medals in here. There is one thing you could farm up for, which is even more storage, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Defender's Forge. Can be used to store your items. Stored items can only be accessed by you. Stored coins can be used in shops. It's just like the Money Trove, but it's a separate inventory. So that's your reason to get it. Because it's so easy to get a piggy bank, which is the same thing, functionally. So if this is going to require you to farm the event so much, it has to be better than that, right? Oh, since this is here, I want to point out the keg I placed, I think, in the merchant's room can be used with mugs to make ale. Minor improvements to melee stats and lowered defense. Drunken Fury, I guess. But once you get this NPC, you can just buy as much ale as you want, which invalidates the keg's existence. Now, when it comes to the other towers, the ballista does higher damage than Flame Burst and pierces through enemies, which I think is good, but there's the damage over time, which ignores defense, but maybe the lower damage is much more affected by defense, so it could be that the ballista is more useful. I think the flat terrain I made would be great with it because the bolt flies straight for a while and then is affected by gravity. So maybe if I just spread them out across the battlefield, they would do more damage than flame burst, but I'm not entirely sure. And I haven't really tried explosive traps much. You don't have to replace them. Wherever you've placed an explosive trap, it'll blow up and then rearm and blow up again, periodically. It is AoE, I guess. Maybe I should give it a shot sometime. Oh, that's something I can point out. I bought the item from the Dryad and combined it with the Guide to Critter Companionship. What was it called? Guide to Environmental Preservation. They're both materials, and on the Tinkerer's Workshop you make the Guide to Peaceful Coexistence. So now I won't accidentally... what am I saying? Won't accidentally shear the grass and pick up random trash that I don't really need. While it's still raining, I'll harvest the water leaf, which are blooming because of that. And there's some blink root as well. You can also place seeds over a blooming... Oh, it stopped blooming. I forgot water leaf could do that. But if I placed, say, a day bloom seed over one of these, it would harvest it, replace it, which is... Oh, damn it. No big deal. No big deal. But still, that was silly. Now, there are some slight preparations I want to do before I fight Deerclops, and I also want to show off. You might have seen it in the Pylon Network. I did go down here. I repaired the two houses. Out of habit, I placed the nurse and the arms dealer here, and I got the mushroom pylon. So I could quickly go down. There is a decent pool for fishing here, and one over here, so that can help me more efficiently fish later. Oh, and that pool should be good for what I want to do. Although fishing is boring, I don't think this should take too long. In the surface tundra, there is a pretty useful thing that I can fish for. And I only need one, which is why I'm doing this on camera. I don't necessarily have to show any fishing, I could just explain. But this one time, I might use the fish immediately. So, that's one nice thing about playing Summoner, you can sort of let your summons kill everything that's trying to harass you while you fish. I'm just getting standard fish right now. Come on, just one of the good ones. When there's a pool on the edge of two biomes like this, you can just step over to either side to switch which biome you're fishing in. Which is fairly useful. Atlantic cod is unique to the tundra, but it's not what I'm looking for. I do think I had some fishing potions from the angler quests I've done. I guess I can explain that angler quests, you simply ask him what fish he wants, then you fish in the corresponding biome to get it. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. And only then can you fish up the corresponding quest item. Then you hand it in and you get some loot. Fishing related loot like bait, potions that buff fishing, And yeah. In fact, let me store this over here. Just in case I keep fishing. I'll place all of the items I get from fishing in here so that you can tell. Oh yeah, the tsunami in a bottle is one thing you can get. But I already have the blizzard in a balloon. They do stack, they're different double jumps, so I could have a triple jump like so. But I don't really care to. Sky, lakes, and surface. So that's one example. If there's enough time left, I might catch that off camera, but maybe by then it'll be too late. I don't want lesser mana. I can buy as many of those as I want from the merchant. Might as well store that. I do want to store the bait in here. If I ever run out of worms, which is extremely unlikely. I had less worms than this in my mage world, and they were nowhere close to running out by the end of the playthrough. But hey, maybe I'll lose my mind and decide to fish for the best boots and whatnot. Though I won't make you watch that. So with the frost minnow, I can make a warmth potion, which reduces damage from cold sources. I realize this is kind of a ridiculous buff versus the appropriate enemies. And I'm going to use the stake because the boss in question is actually pretty hard. So I would like to be buffed, and it also took me a while when I last did it. I'd prefer to speed things up. I need iron skin, which can be made with either lead or iron. Is there any other relevant buff? Not really. Okay. Unfortunately, the generation of the tundra is very awkward. So I hope this works out. The important things are vertical mobility and a dash, I would say, and horizontal mobility is also good. You can kind of fight this boss almost at any point in the first half of the game, is the intent. The later you fight it, the easier it is, but the less relevant the loot is. I think I'll try placing platforms and see how that works out. I'm a little skeptical, but say if I stretch them out across here. I should chop down these trees. They might cause problems. This is another thing that I think is best done on flat ground, but I think the platforms should work. I'm kind of improvising here. If I fail to beat the boss now, maybe start of next video or something. So, Deerclops. There he is. This is a very unusual boss for Terraria. It's sort of a melee boss, or a close range one. His combo, essentially, you jump twice and then you move away. And that's it. And this guy's taken straight from Don't Starve. Those hands are the biggest wrinkle to an otherwise very simple and repetitive pattern. I seem to remember... Oh yeah, they changed it so that you can pass under Deerclops' legs for some reason. I wonder if I could... Oh yeah, you could just dodge it like that. But the third hit hits to the left and to the right of him, so then you'd have to back off. and his attacks are ice, so the warmth potion is reducing the damage significantly. I think it actually halves the damage, which is pretty ridiculous. But Deerclops is one of the only things in the game that the warmth potion matters for, so that's sort of the trade-off, I suppose. If you're too far away for Deerclops to do these attacks, he'll unavoidably inflict you with slowness. And then, if he tries to inflict slowness, but you already have it, a storm of hands will appear around you. You also can't damage him if you're too far away. That's what this visual effect on him is. Yeah, that. There's the slowness. I said him, but I actually read on the wiki that Deerclops is female. It's not important, but now that I've said that, I guess it's worth correcting myself. So yeah, that is probably the easiest way to deal with Deerclops. There's a relic, treasure bag. What did I get? Disease rare gecko chester. Vanity item. Okay. I'll hold on to the peddler's hat. And I beat a new boss, so there's another lantern knight. Weather pane, that's what I was looking for. This is a fun mage weapon. It homes in on enemies, stays on top of them, it can hit multiple enemies at once. It's not bad at all. But I had to kill Deerclops 10 freaking times to get it as a mage, which really sucked. Yeah, this changes the visuals of the game to resemble Don't Starve, if I remember correctly. Yep. Screen filters, I'm pretty sure. The Bone Helm is the expert item. Summons Shadow Hands to attack your foes. I think the Shadow Hands scale with whatever damage you're using. So, summon damage. Or I think they have their own damage stat that scales with all damage bonuses, something like that. But yeah. So there's Deerclops. There's one other thing I could do, which is to find a certain biome, which will be quite nice. Do I have enough? I should buy more bombs. Okay, I'll do that to end this off. I think this is pretty significant progress overall. Lots of bombs. That's way more than enough, actually. So the thing in question appears in the underground layer on the same side of the world as the jungle. It's kind of obscure. It's another one of those things that I think pretty much requires the wiki. But there is a decent chance you find it when you're exploring the underground jungle. And then once you know that it always appears in each world, you can apply that knowledge, which is what I'm doing. Is this a good spot? Maybe. It's a little awkward. I think I'll use this cave to get started. And here you can see how the Torch God's favor is changing my torches to the corresponding biome. Oh hey! Can show off something with that wooden boomerang. Okay, this should be good. I'm just going to throw bombs. Yeah, before Deerclops was added to the game, the warmth potion was only useful for one endgame boss, I'm pretty sure. Maybe one more event. Now, the only problem with the thing I'm looking for is the exact spot it appears in is pretty random. So I might not find it now, but if I don't, I'll look for it off screen because it can be kind of tedious. Off camera, I mean. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. And then I'll show it off next video. Well, I'm not very far down at all. I'm already at a loss for words, and I'm not even halfway done with this. I don't think I've even reached the underground layer. This is a very quick way of mining. If you're sick of mining, just blow up the world. So somewhere around here, it can appear. I think you get the idea, so I will continue this off camera. But for now, I just want to show off. Oh yeah, clay blocks. Not that I'll need them, but you can make some fun little decorative things with clay. Might as well. Nah, just regular worms. There are 3 different things you can get from cans of worms. So, the wooden boomerang can be upgraded with a single fallen star into... where the hell is it? Am I forgetting where I needed to do it? Or am I just blind? I could use the search bar for once. Oh. Into an enchanted boomerang. So that's more damage, right? And then, enchanted boomerang, shroomerang, and ice boomerang makes the trimerang. Which is a melee weapon for some reason. I would expect it to be a ranged weapon. But you can throw up to 3 boomerangs at a time. It's pretty cool. If you don't get the shroomerang from a random drop in the mushroom field, this thing is not worth making, and even still, you can progress a lot before you find all of its components. But it's neat, and now I've shown it off, and that is all. So next time, I was planning on going into the dungeon now, but all the stuff I wanted to do took too long. So next time I'll go into the dungeon, and before that I will have found the thing down here and show it off. So yeah. Thank you for watching.